Hey, what's going on, everybody? Your boy JC. Everyday Thoughts is in the building. Everybody gather around. Hope everybody's having a good and blessed night. And those of you who are fathers, happy Father's Day to you, or anyone that want to celebrate the father. I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. So let's everybody gather around. Y'all know what time it is. Your boy JC and Miss Joy is in the building tonight. Everybody gather around, get your chocolates, get your marshmallows, whatever you want to call it, gather around. And hope everybody's having a good and blessed night. What's going on, Angela? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Amber? Hey, what's going on, Joy?
Hey, how are you?
Blessed and highly favored.
That's great to hear. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of your evening, part of your show. I am really looking forward to having this conversation with you tonight.
All right, the pleasure is all mine. I'm glad that you reached out to you and you liked some of my posts and you liked my video that I had about a woman. You know, a man didn't leave you just because you had sex with him. So
Yeah,
give a brief introduction of who you are to my peoples, and just give me your thoughts about that video that I shot a
sure
few weeks
thing.
or months ago.
All right, well, my name is Joy. I'm also known as Pink Girl Teaches. I am a certified life and relationship coach, a sexual assault as well as narcissistic abuse advocate. I help people heal from the long term effects of childhood sexual assault as well as recover from narcissistic abusive relationships, the intimate ones. I am a podcaster as well as an author. Now, my podcast is Project Real Love, and it's on available on all major platforms. It's a dating and relationship podcast. Now, as far as the video that you had on, it was pretty interesting, and it was the title that kind of drew me into it because I've been working with quite a few women quite recently who are complaining or who have gripes about men who would make them have sex with them. I mean, like, they would paint up a picture like relationship, marriage. Some have even proposed, and finally she gets comfortable enough and secure to say, you know what, okay, now we can do this because I have some type of reassurance and security that we are going ahead in a particular direction. And once he's given up the goods, he's out. And so, it was just kind of interesting to hear the different perspectives. Your guest was pretty interesting, and his views were, they challenged some of the things that I do believe, but, I think it's good to get the conversation going so that we can all have a broader picture of what is going on and what we can expect and how we end up in some of these situations. I think one of the people who was on the actual live made a comment about I think she said, just don't put yourself in those situations if you are going to be somebody who is going to be hurt because they left you after, you have sex with them. And that, I think that's really the best thing is to learn how to guard yourself and read the signs and don't be so quick to get emotionally attached and believe everything that a person is saying. But players out here are really playing some good game. Like they will make you really believe that this is a I'm here for the long run and I'm going to marry you like I say I will, but they do something totally different. But you have to just learn how to guard yourself and pace yourself too.
Yeah, I mean the issue is guys not being honest with their
Yeah.
intentions, what they want. And like I said, you just have to be upfront and know who you are. Stop trying to string women along. Don't be manipulative. That's very damaging. That's
Yeah.
why you see a lot of women with a lot of trust issues. They have a lot of anxiety issues. They have like a little their faith. They lost a lot of their faith in men because we're not being honest. We're not being transparent. Like I said, my core values is being honor and integrity. Let that person know what's up. If you just want
Hmm.
sex, let that person know. You want a relationship, you want something serious, let that person know, but don't sit there string nobody along. Don't sit there and
Yep.
paint no picture, no selling no dream. Because I'm all about people just being honest and upfront what they want. Because you want something serious, you just want something casual, you want a situation, you want friends with benefit. Just be
Yep.
honest because that person may or may not be looking for what you're looking for. But the thing about it is, at least she was honest. She was clear up front to let that person know, yay or nay, this is what you want to be involved with. I'm putting I'm putting all everything on all the marbles to the table. Either you're going to take
Absolutely.
it or you're not. But give that person the opportunity to choose. Especially her. Let her choose. That's what she want to be involved with. Don't sit there string her along. Don't let her think that's going somewhere. And it's not going nowhere.
Absolutely. I think, honesty is the cornerstone, but unfortunately, we have people who just want what they want. And, for some, it's so easy to just, to get it and then keep it moving because that's all they were after. But you really have to pay attention to the red flags because they do come up. It's just, are you really paying attention? Are you really hearing what they're saying? And even if you're, are you hearing what they're saying and then honoring yourself in the midst of things? Because you also have to consider how long this has been going on. How long have you been seeing each other? Have they been consistent? Are they intentional? And one of the red flags I think people do miss in this type of setup is because the person really can be saying the right thing, but our bodies have a way of communicating with us, whether it's your gut feeling and you just have an uneasy feeling and just don't understand, well, why do I feel this way? That's your body speaking to you, and you have to slow down and figure out what's happening and just take a moment. Another thing is, like, one of the ladies kept saying like she couldn't stop eating, and I was like, well, what would you mean you can't stop eating? She's like, I don't know, it's just like, she says, I'm an emotional eater and I can't stop. Well, what's wrong? And she says, everything is good. Well, what's the new thing in your life? Well, I'm seeing this person. So there was another red flag that she, I don't think she really took heed to, maybe because she wasn't aware of it. But there are little indicators, subtle ones, that will let you know.
Yeah, definitely. There's always red flags. Either you choose to see or you don't choose to see it. But my only thing too is just be honest and have integrity. But also too though, there are some guys that do tell you up front, look, this is what I'm looking for,
Yep.
nothing special. But for some reason you get attached, you get mostly drawn to the man, you want something more, but the man told you up front, look, this is what we are, this is what we're doing. But some reason the woman wants a lot more. It even be vice versa, or sometimes the men, but in rare cases you see the men. But you see a lot of women kind of the dude tell them up front, and then they have sex, and it's kind of like,
Yep.
yeah, she wants something more, but it's like that's not what we agreed to.
With a situation like that, though, what happens is that, he will tell her, like, listen, this is not what I don't want a relationship. I'm not ready for a relationship. She's like, oh, but I want marriage. He's like, well, I'm not trying to be married right now. And so in her mind, she's taking a translation like, okay, so he doesn't want a relationship right now. However, I like him and I think, I see his potential and I can see myself with him. So what I'm going to do is hang around and give him all the benefits of the relationship. I'm going to give him all the wife benefits, and I'm going to step up my game and I'm going to be real extra and I'm just going to bring the goods to the table. And once he sees how good I am, once he sees how what a wonderful person I am, what a good wife I can be, what a good mate I can be, then he'll change his mind and come around and see things my way. But in actuality, what happens is that no, he will just enjoy all those benefits, and when he's ready to settle down, when he's ready for a relationship, when he's ready for marriage, he'll go and find the woman that he actually wants. And then she has invested 5, 10, 15, however many years that she allows this to go on and be left by herself. And now she's jaded. Sometimes, these situations bring kids, but he told you up front. So, it's important that we stop translating what they are saying to fit our agenda at the end of the day.
Yeah, like I said, don't sit up there and blame the dude. The man told you
Yeah.
up front, but he told you up front, you want something more, you want something extra, but if he tell you up front and that's what he wants, and you want something more. But like I said, give that man wife benefits, hoping that's going to change
Hmm.
his man. Or I got quote unquote the good stuff. Like this man had never had vagina in his lifetime. Like that's something that a lot of women they feel to do because they feel like they can change a
Yep.
man just to have sex with him. Well, a man who's used to getting women, or a man used to being around women, like that's nothing to him. You know what I mean? So you just have to be cautious and really just guard your heart and really just focus on what he's saying and also what he's not saying too, because you don't want to be in a situation where you feel like you're doing everything and y'all not even in a relationship. So yeah, though, I mean, I said something about like In another video, I said it'll take a man more than 2 years to settle down. What's your take on that, though?
Absolutely. Listen, I feel like when a man knows that this is the person that he wants in his life, I mean, even if he's not ready when he meets her, I believe that that man will get ready real quick. He will move heaven and earth because he doesn't want to risk the chance of losing that woman. And so he gets ready real quick. And I believe men do know who they want. It doesn't take, even 2 years is a pretty long time. I think, if he is like serious and, not about the games, he will know within 6 months that I can set up, this is somebody I see as my wife, and becomes more intentional in his pursuit for her. And nah, they know. Men know early.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a man knows within. I said 2 years. That's like the longest. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'm giving you 2 years for grace period for y'all being exclusively dating. So you're going beyond 2 years, and a lot of times you're wasting your time. A lot of times there are situations where you're living with a guy 5 to 10 years, begging this man to settle down, marry her. It's like, or even some situation where you have the woman proposing to the man, which is really ludicrous to me, unacceptable to
that,
me. Like I said, the man knows within, like I said, 2 years of knowing you, y'all dated exclusively, to know this is his wife. You're just a booty call, you're a side chick, you're just a good time salad, etc. So it's like he knows what it is, but then women they be like, well, why don't he just tell us? Why would he sit there and tell you for what? You're giving everything, all the benefits,
absolutely.
and then spoil that.
But and it's crazy that they'll say, "Why didn't he tell us?" Because he told you. I mean, through men will articulate this through their words, through their actions, through how
Or
they are
even like non
treating you,
non, he
and
also
what
like
they're not
non-verbally,
saying. Yeah.
non-verbally. Yeah, he
Absolutely.
tells
So
you.
it's right there, and you can't allow, feelings of loneliness, or I don't want to try this again. I don't want to be back out there again to keep you held hostage in a situation that is not yours. You have got to be able to respect yourself enough. One thing that I always say is like, listen, when somebody disrespects you, there's only one response to that. And I don't care what it costs you. You respect yourself, period. No other way. When somebody disrespects you, your only response is to respect yourself. And if that means walking away and closing that door, then that's just what you have to do, because we teach people how to treat us. And if they get comfortable disrespecting you, whether it's, name calling, cheating, lying, abusive behavior, it's just going to get worse because you have given them permission to, should you allow that behavior to continue and remain unchecked.
Exactly. Like I said, you can't sit up here and blame nobody else, and yeah, that's something a
Yeah.
lot of women do tend to fail to realize as far as taking accountability, as far as this do that. Like, what about you?
Hmm.
You're the main denominator in all your situation, any equation you're in. You're the common
Yeah.
denominator. So, what do you need to do better? What do you need to focus on? What are the red flags you missed? And vice versa for men too. But like I said, it's all about knowing who you are, not just putting up any kind of BS, and just knowing your tolerance level, your non-negotiable, your negotiable, and understand this person right for me. This person just feeding my lust, or just my soulmate, somebody I'm trying to build with.
Yeah.
Who has my back 24/7, not just somebody who just get in it for the good times, not there to see me struggling through the bad times when I'm going through maybe a death in the family, maybe I'm going through a crisis with family, friends. That person there to heal me, is that person to cover me, etc. So it's like we have to figure out if the person or if he's not. You got to figure what's my escape plan, because I don't need to keep
Yeah.
wasting time and it's not going nowhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't. I mean, like, one thing that really hurts is when you've invested in somebody in a situation and it does not yield any return. But a lot of the times we have ourselves to blame for those kind of things. You could be so eager for a relationship and just settle for crumbs when all the signs, all he's feeding you is breadcrumbs. And, you know, you have to know yourself before you get out there. You have to have your value system set up in check, and then have your boundaries and respect your boundaries. The thing with boundaries is the onus is always on us to respect our own boundaries. Nobody else has to respect your boundaries. It's you. That's it, period. You set the boundaries, and your boundaries are never to offend anybody. Really, boundaries, I feel, are in place to protect and to preserve the person that you are and the person that you're becoming. So it's on you.
Yeah, and also too, also questions where it's like, well, when should I have sex with a man? Did I sleep with him too fast? Did I wait too long? There's really no right or wrong answer. I just feel like y'all two at it. Understand that's the moment that y'all spent. That's the hours that y'all spent, and you just have to appreciate the moment. Whether like I said, I think it's always appreciate the moment. Whether you're on the bus, you're on the plane, or you're at work, whatever situation you're in, there is an ending point. So you always have to
Mhm.
appreciate the journey that it happened. Like I said, the man does call you back. Cool, he does it. Cool. At the end of the day, did you do it for yourself, or did you do it? Did you feel like you had to do it for his satisfaction?
That's correct. You have to just be ready to face whatever consequences. If you're going to put yourself out there, then just be ready, because there is no guarantee. And you have to know, like, listen, I'm about to do this thing here. How is it going to make me feel afterwards if they don't want to talk to me? If they ghost me, how is that going to affect me? You have to be honest and be willing to be vulnerable with yourself and then act accordingly.
Yeah. Amber says some people feel like they can fix for other people. No, like I said, you can't really fix no other body. You got change. Got to come from within that person, that man, that woman, like whatever situation. You got to get help. Like I said, I don't care how good you can treat a person, but they're not happy within themselves. They're not happy with the circumstances, their lifestyle, whatever it is. You can't make nobody happy. You can know our suggestions, but in the day, it's on the individual uh, to make changes within their whole lifestyle.
Yeah, the thing with people who feel that they can fix somebody and, will feel like, I'm going to stay in this situation and, help this person heal or become a better person, see their potential, or see me in a particular kind of light so that we can do this thing that I want to do. The problem with somebody like that is oftentimes they're a codependent personality, and they have something in them that's from their past, most likely their childhood, that they need to heal from themselves, because you can't go around fixing people, you can't. But codependents, that's what they do. It's just part of that cluster B personalities, that it gives them joy, or it validates them feeling like I'm doing something positive, but in actuality you're hurting yourself and you're actually holding up your own destiny, because you really do need to take that time to heal yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing though. You gotta take time to heal. You gotta know. You always do self awareness, self
Hmm.
evaluation of stuff you did right, what you did wrong, and always just try to make sure you can make corrections going forward. Because it's easy to point the finger, but how many times you gonna point the finger until the arrows reflects back to you?
You got to point that finger at yourself first, I think. That's one thing, like, if I experience a breakup, or like I'm divorced. So once our marriage ended, I had to look at myself first, even though I didn't want to, because, for us, there were things that he did which were like, clearly would dismiss a marriage, period. But it's easy to blame the other person. I'm like, listen, he was cheating, you had a baby, you did all these other things, but then what was I doing? You have to take that time to self-reflect. Sometimes you stay in a relationship too long. Other times you're in a relationship you have no business being in. People we meet people every day, and those conversations should end at hello, like, oh, hi, how are you, have a nice day, let's keep it pushing. But you're pursuing these relationships with the wrong people. And also, you it's okay to be alone. Nobody has ever died, from being a single person. You just have to, embrace that and use that single time to develop yourself and to heal parts of your life, as well as focus on creating the life that you want. But it all starts with you. You've got to be accountable for the decisions you make. And I don't care whether you did everything right in that relationship, there's still a level of accountability that follows you. Because if you did everything right and they did everything wrong, what red flags were you missing? What red flags were you ignoring? Are you fully engaged in yourself to, be able to respect your own boundaries and that kind of thing? So we do have to take time.
All right, Stephen said you can't fix anybody with sex when it comes to relationships unless you expect to live your life constantly in a horizontal position. sometimes when you lay down, you have everything in common, but when you stand up, you have
Mm-hmm.
nothing in common.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. You
That's the
know, and like,
truth.
then I'm talking about, sex, like, it does cloud your judgment as far as you making good decisions, because even if the sex is good, you may, gloss over deficiencies in that person, man or woman.
The thing with sex, and you have to be careful about having sex real soon, especially if you're coming out of a relationship, or you're just, you feel like you like this person or whatever. You have to be very careful about jumping into bed soon, because what happens when you have sex with a person, a hormone, oxytocin, is released. That is known as the cuddle drug. It is a dopamine, and it causes you to form an attachment with somebody. So you may be forming an attachment in with the wrong person, and then now you've got these feelings, and here you are, they're ready to move on because it was what it was. And that also, can go back to when we were saying that a man will articulate, like, look, I don't want a relationship, let's just do this, and she agrees with it, thinking she can handle it, but that hormone is released, and it just is what it is after that.
Yeah, I mean, like, also too, as far as going back to the other video, it's just like I said, a man, like I said, he man could just not like the sex. The man cannot like the behavior, cannot like your attitude,
Yeah.
your demeanor, or a lot of stuff that can turn a man off. A lot of times people be like, "Oh, well, I had sex with him too soon, that's why I turn it off." If y'all are y'all have good chemistry. A lot of times it would just boost it up, but sometimes maybe we're just off, or maybe it just wasn't as up to par like he expected, or maybe y'all just don't have the chemistry that lasts beyond just the physical interaction.
That's absolutely true.
So you should be. I
Go
follow. I
ahead.
go on. No, I would say you should be able to just be a situation where y'all just hanging out, going to the movie, going to the park, walking around, going to the festivals. Y'all just really enjoying each other's company, and you're comfortable with it without sex. That's the point you need to be at. It doesn't need to be everything need to be all physical. It needs to be a lot more mental simulation, a lot more just holding hands or just watching a movie and just relaxing in each other's arms instead of everything being all about sex.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, knowing what you want from a person, or not necessarily a particular person, but what you want in your life at any given period of time. If you're pursuing a relationship, then you've got to think like that. If it's marriage that's on your mind, then you've got to put yourself in that mindset and think as a husband or a wife, and, act like one, and treat, and just guard yourself as you would in those relationships, because you may, I think when you know what you want, you're gonna there you know what to say no to. When you know where you're going, you can avoid certain pitfalls, because you kind of do have some type of tunnel vision going forwards.
Yeah, and also too, you should be able to meet each other's parents, brothers, siblings, have a
Oh yeah.
cookout, barbecue. Y'all should be able just to chill out, relax, and like be able to be open discussion. Be able to go out on dates without really expecting a return like sex or anything like that. Y'all should be able just to enjoy each other's company with or without loud music or just being in silence with each other. So
Yeah.
it's all about being compatible with each other. That's the biggest thing too. What's going on, Hannah? What's everybody doing tonight? Like I said, it's all about just being compatible. And sometimes that maybe that was just what it was. It just was a sexual encounter, but you don't want to take too much of it, lean too much to the right or to the left of it. That's just what it was. You move on and you
Yep.
just try to see and understand that everybody's not like that person, and just understand that you have to do self evaluation of what you can and can't do better. But you can start doing a lot of self evaluation, but it still may not change the outcome. But you still have to just love yourself enough to understand that you're going to win, you're going to lose some, and you got to keep striving to get up that mountain, like, and climb the mountain.
Absolutely. That self-evaluation is everything, and you have to be honest with yourself. Be willing to be vulnerable. Some people look at vulnerability as a weakness, but that's where your strength is. When you're really willing to open up and deal with whatever it is, and just be honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself. I mean, that's one of the worst ways to disservice yourself. Just be truthful and say, this is what I did, and I could have done this better. Eventually, you get the result that you want.
Yeah, like I said, self-evaluation. Like I said, it's funny how we, after a basketball game, football game, we go to the X's and O's,
Yeah,
evaluate what we did wrong, but in our relationship, we never want to like do that. We want to like point the finger or never take time to like, what do I need to do better? What kind of healing do I need to do? Do I need to go to therapy? Do I need to go to a counseling? What do I need to do to get myself right, my mental shape, my health wise? What can I do better for the next mate
yeah,
that I may be preparing myself for? And what,
absolutely.
yeah, and what lessons did I learn too? What did I learn? You know. From the good, the bad experiences, what did I learn overall?
Absolutely. That's part of our growing process. We learn, sometimes we learn through mistakes. Sometimes you get to learn through other people's, but once you've had those lessons, then begin to build from there. Don't make them, don't continue to make the same mistakes. Step out and do things differently. And, you mentioned therapy, which is a great thing because there's nothing wrong with therapy. It's a good thing. Your mental health is everything. Everything that, you create in your life starts in your thoughts. So get get the help that you need to get into a healthy space because ultimately it just serves you well and it's for your good in the end anyway.
And I said I agree. You have to cater
Yeah,
to the soul of the person. Yeah,
yeah,
you gotta do
absolutely.
it. You gotta cater to the person without there being no kind of expectation. It's something that you want to do because you love that person. You don't mind seeing the good in them. You put yourself last to a certain degree, because you really want to see that person do great and expand beyond their limitation.
Absolutely. I agree with that too. Yeah.
But yeah, you got anything else you want to add?
No, I think, like as far as that was really good conversation. I sent it to my girlfriends because I want them to listen to it so that we can chop it up and I want to hear what they say because a lot of times it's just they just want to blame the men or oh but this and that. I'm like, no, let's hear what they're saying because this is two men talking. Let's hear. So once we have that conversation, I'm going to share it with you and let you know how that went.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, that was good though. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was.
yeah, like I said, that's what I do. We talk about all kind of stuff on the channel. It's a judge-free platform. People come
Hmm.
on, say what they gotta say. It's a really family-oriented type of conversation. Conversations that need to be had, need to be well spoken.
Absolutely.
That's like I said. That's what it's all about. Ain't no kind of judgment. There's no I'm gonna put a Bible in your head. None of that. It's just you give your thoughts, your everyday thought. That's what it is.
Well, those kind of conversations are important because if we're not having them, how are we learning? And
Yeah.
how do you know to do something better? How do you grow? No, the conversations have to be, some lies have to be exposed so that, people find healing and are able to do better. Yeah, the conversations are great and I'm here for them completely.
All right, we got like one last question before I gotta head on out. David said, "I know you're going to laugh at this, but when I was having these types of conversation with my daughter when she was growing up, I would yell, tell her sometimes you have to act like a woman, but think like a man in order to be used and abused constantly." Okay, what's your thoughts about that?
I don't know about I get the whole theory of act like a woman and think like a man, but I don't know,
You
like, can we
know,
really think like a man?
uh,
I personally don't think so, and I don't want to think like a man if it's me myself. I want to think like a woman. I want to think like a smart woman and be, able to make wise decisions that are beneficial for me. But I think we're different. We're male and female for specific reasons. I can't be, no, no, just be a smart woman and be well informed, be well aware, be in tune with yourself, and have some solid boundaries. I'm all here for boundaries. Have solid boundaries. Do not ignore red flags. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you joining me tonight, and like I said. Thank everybody for tuning in, everybody. You know,
Thank you so much for having me tonight. It was very good having this conversation.
you're very welcome. We're going to have another discussion down the road pretty soon. You know,
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
you are very welcome. So everybody, thank you for watching. Make sure y'all check out Joy. Make sure you check out our podcast. Make sure everybody subscribe to my channel if y'all haven't done so. Make sure y'all share this video. And like I said, thank everybody for tuning in. Thank Joy for joining me tonight. And everybody have a blessed and safe night. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. So y'all have a good one. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Good night.